we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is it. The return. Again. Of Salmon Run.
We've been here for years.
We are not giving up. Basically, I just kind of missed talking about stuff. You know? Like, directs and stuff go by, and nothing ever really happens, you know? So, like, never really talk about it. And I'm like, well, what's that empty hole? And it's Salmon Run, man. Just some stupid news comes by. What is this happen? What is this? I think it's just Twitch. So, are you serious?
What?
It's some shit on my phone. I don't know, man. But,
Just getting hacked live on there. Oh, God, I haven't played Splatoon 2 since we finished this. Well, no, since the last Splatfest, I think, which is after we finished this.
basically, same. So, yeah, I think what happens is now I'm playing on my TV or my monitor, so I don't have sound because I tried using one in one in one ear, one in the other, and that was terrible. So I'm just gonna try it without sound, but I don't know, like even just the sounds from the TV. In the past, though distant and covered up by earbuds, were still something.
I have it overly low right now, and I don't think the sound is helping. It would help too much, pardon me. So I will turn it up just so I can hear things firing in the distance, if nothing else.
No, I have nothing for that.
I have a pentabarrel, which means I can shoot or grenade. One of the two, and nothing else.
It's like you have to get back into it. Oh.
Hard to like Splatoon 2.
Also, it doesn't help that my fucking Switch battery, or my Pro Controller battery is dead, so now I have this bulky ass cable.
You have the cable.
I'm like wondering what the charge to, like, you know, the charge to time I can use it ratio is so that I can just unplug it at some point.
Yep.
And I'll just unplug. Yes. He is.
Well, you should have like just enough time to do it. Pop it, slap it.
The battery's gonna die at a pinnacle moment. I don't want to risk that.
You'll stop like just 2 inches short of getting the last egg in on second 2. The doobies. Now I'm beginning to remember how this game works. Starting round 1 with a pentabarrel after however long out of the game is not optimal.
Oh, there's a flying fucker in the back. Alright, that just happened. Are you alive? Yeah, you're more reliable than these people.
I'm not even a full ride back, it's already there.
I mean, what demographic is even playing Salmon Run nowadays that the game is like
Jedi
updating?
5-year-olds that know their game.
Like, that's the real question. It could go either way.
Really could.
Especially since Salmon Run itself hasn't been updated in probably like over a year.
I'm saying, I suppose like, the
Way over.
demographic of people who are playing Salmon Run is a bit different from those still playing Splatoon 2.
Yeah. I mean, I think like it's either just kids or tryhards in Splatoon 2.
Yeah, I think that's basically it.
Like, there is no in between, unless, like, you know, it's like Friday night or something. And it's like, hey, what do you want to play? Oh, I know. Let's just boot up Splatoon 2 again. Oh, it wasn't worth it because I didn't even kill the dude. Some hell going on at Pierce.
There's a bit of hell going on everywhere.
I use grenades. Ugh. Oh yeah, it's all coming together.
Begrudge me for focusing right now when
Yeah.
we're back in the thick of this after so long.
Doing the first wave. Thank God he's lost Outpost.
Could be worse.
Oh. That sucked. I was out of ammo. There are plenty of enemies here. We just gotta kill them. Like that. Stay free, Salmon Run. Stay free. Well, never mind.
He's not. I wasn't realizing everyone else was dying at that moment. I was gonna get the last egg. And...
Only I had any other special.
What did you have?
Grenades.
Ah.
Which, like, has its uses, but, you know. I'd rather have, like, immediate focused fire.
Yeah.
Alright, I don't even remember how to launch into a conversation.
I mean, usually I start something and then you just start going shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, and then start talking about 100% OJ plushies.
Oh yeah, those are
bullshit.
They're on the way. The Wave 2 plushies that have happened between now and then.
Hang on a sec. I might need to stop and restart my shit. Desktop audio isn't producing any noise.
Well, it looks good on my end, so...
Give it a sec.
I tied. I have to remove this wire. This wire cannot stay like this. It'd be like no Johns, but... Front... Alright. Spawn immediately. Flying fucker. Thank God I knows how positioning works. AKA if I'm standing on the right side, I go for the right one. Woo! There were two snakes for a second. Yeah, this is bad. I am not dead somehow? What the heck? What the heck? Like, why even bother with the laws at this point? Okay, just gotta dig my way. Okay, get distracted. All right, could be better. Situation. I thought it was a boss. Oh, I mean we're good, so whatever. But Jack. I'm just gonna be living. How about that? Why get ambitious when you don't have to be ambitious? See, is it me or does I didn't sound like a kid's name? Obviously, all children grow up, but like still.
Can you keep talking a sec? 'Cause this is just not finding you for some reason.
Okay. Okay, that was worth it. That was worth it. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Okay, I got the audio problem fixed. Hold on.
Hopefully that did something. Oh, that's a flying fucker. It's high tide again, so I might as well. Oh, two flying fuckers. So I might as well go over here. Son of a bitch. Top spawning over here. Motherfuckers. I just tried to get in a position where I could kill both of them with one, and it just didn't pan out, really. Here we go. Please aim properly, Chris. Okay, good. It was kind of necessary. It's not what I wanted to do, but it's what I had to do. Now I'm out of these, so if the mothership comes along. I mean, hey, we're good on the 8 count, so like, could be worse. Oh, what a life. 2 and we lose. It's okay. To not expect something like this would just have been ridiculous, you know?
Can you stall in the lobby a sec?
Okay. I mean, I can. I like a battery pack. Like, the thing I hate is that my Pro Controller doesn't respond with my charging brick that, like, specifically, it's like one of the smart charger bricks, you know? So it takes whatever personal wattage or whatever from your phone and all your devices and then picks the best one and charges in that. And then, goes from there, but it doesn't seem to work with any such Pro Controllers. Anchor, what are you doing? I mean, it probably does. But, yeah, no idea what Gavin's doing. It's fine. Got like 2 purple dots on my arm. That's kind of concerning. You can believe we're already at 300. Also, I really, I think I really need a third monitor. Like, now that I'm gonna be playing games on one monitor, I might just buy myself a third monitor, even though I should save.
Alright. Hello.
Are you finally ready?
Yeah, sure.
Finally.
Audio problems fixed. My mom was playing with the cat as well. Hello, Hammer. We're back. Anyway, what we were saying before, everything broke for me.
Oh, I don't even remember. Who remembers? Probably something about the game itself.
Probably. Oh yeah, who would still be playing it. You wanted to start a conversation, so let me start talking about Kingdom Hearts and you can interrupt me.
Why? You know in particular that that's not something I can reciprocate with.
I mean, that's the idea.
That's a topic I can't possibly, you know, I have plenty of topics that both of us have experience with, and
yeah, I got a topic.
Decide to choose fucking Kingdom Hearts, the game that you know I only mildly give a shit about.
Joke, but I say things and you cut me off for other things. It's fun.
I mean, there's like not you already know. There's like it's not even like, oh, it's something I don't know. Please explain it to me. It's I already know everything about Kingdom Hearts. You know, it's like.
Don't. You know the donkey version, which is explicitly a jackass take the insulted.
That's not true. I did watch.
That is completely
like, up until I did 1 and 2, and I think the card game. There was that one movie version because they're like, we don't really care about this version of the game.
It's also those were DS games, and you know, if you fucking love for not in our system.
I just don't think they care, really.
The further games are also pretty bad on DS. So.
Whoa, I didn't know you were here.
And only says they wanted to actually play Recoded is telling a lie. Anyway, yes. What do you got from it? Hit me.
Well, I actually should have done a bit of homework here because my plan was to actually know the last time we streamed this game and then have a whole timeline of what we've done since then. Granted, I haven't done a whole lot, so...
1986, those home forms for eBay started.
Kinda sucks.
Oh, do you want to take the floor first then?
Well, you know what we can do?
Yeah.
Go on to YouTube. Oh, tied again. Okay, hold on.
Oh, well, fuck me. That's right, it tells you low tide.
Wow.
Please
You
forgive
can't
me.
even remember that. Wow.
Not that long.
How do YouTube playlists work?
Depending on where you're ordering them on your page. I mean, like, as you're looking at them right now.
Still got it, baby.
Turned away from me and I was just like, ah yes, I remember this, you bastard.
How about instead of that, oh, you talk about our deal.
Deal.
You and I made a deal where, this is hashtag mobile gaming, by the way, so like, prepare your pillows and blankets.
Come back in half an hour.
Because yeah, just no one knows what the hell we'd be talking about. So, basically, Gavin is obsessed with a mobile game called Girls Frontline, and I like Dragalia a lot. It's a healthy amount, you know. So Gavin has always wanted me to give Girls Frontline a real chance, or anyone
Also
really.
just anyone.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I'm convinced at least 3 people now to play it, and they've stuck with it, so.
I was gonna say, wait, who else?
Two, like David, and then our mutual friend Nathan.
Wow. I thought they were normies.
David is not at all normal. David is basically like the same as me, but different tastes.
Better tastes?
No, it's different.
I was gonna say, should I be bringing David on? Okay, hold on. Let's see. Salmon run. Oh no, it's probably at the bottom because it's when you made it.
Yeah, you looking at my page or yours?
Mine.
Okay, yeah, probably.
Splatoon 2 story plus Octo expansion. That's not right. Splatoon 2
I mean, that would
lobby.
probably be
That's not
further
right.
up.
Salmon run. Okay, so it looks like Mario Maker 2 if it updates like that. Oh my god. This would be better if I had a list. Also, I can't see my chat when I do this, so...
I didn't know you were chatting. I have it open.
A mess. But, yeah, so the deal was I would try Girls Frontline if Gavin tried Dragalia Lost again. Yeah, again. We streamed it.
Caveat that if I rolled in it all again, I was out.
Yeah. I can't believe that worked. And he didn't.
Remarkably, I'm surprised.
But I mean, I'm still playing Girls Frontline. I don't know if Gavin's still playing Dragalia. I have a feeling he isn't.
I have been doing the logins, but you've been giving me no time to actually play the game. We streamed yesterday, and then went on to watch your name, and was just like, well, when do I want to play Dragalia in this?
I have plenty of time to play Girls Frontline, so I don't see where the problem is.
I don't. Hello, Biggs.
Well, there are 3 snipers, so that's a problem.
But anyway, yes.
I don't know if you can really, like, the idea was that we'd give kind of like what we thought now, Oh wow, we won.
Well, I'll go first, I guess.
I mean, you haven't really been playing it,
I
right?
mean, from what we played it together for 4 hours, and I have been playing it in bits and pieces.
It really didn't feel like that, if I'm being honest. Still.
It was actually close to 4 hours. But it seems they've like rebalanced Regalia into something I would say is playable. As in, you know, it doesn't take like literally months worth of resources to do a single thing anymore. The game now has an appreciable amount of 5 stars, such that even I can get them now. Which was a problem when we're playing, where there's like very few of them, and the game wouldn't give you any of them. And that was the problem because it's like, oh, we need better characters to get, how naturally more might, so you can actually do the quest to give you materials to get the higher might weapons, and it's either pay money or just stop. And there's no guarantee if you pay the money you get anywhere. But now they're beginning to approach somewhat the Grand Blue level of generosity Side Games has with their own flagship thing.
I wouldn't say beginning.
I would
They've
say
been there
beginning
for quite a while.
Oh yeah.
They don't have a gachapin frenzy, but
I don't think they have enough units to make that work on them. So even with my over a year-long absence, I'm still seeing very much the same 5 faces in the gacha anytime it's not giving me the new banner characters. So
it doesn't help that they're constantly redoing events.
yeah, and it does seem to have a bit of the. There's always a fucking event going on, so it's trying to be more commitment than I really want out of a mobile game. Where the girls from I can basically just hibernate that game between events and it's fine. But I guess I've just been spoiled by that, because that's another reason why I was just, of the many reasons I kind of dropped off of Fire Emblem Heroes, was there was just constantly a fucking meaningless event on, and at that point I just don't give a shit. I don't care anymore. Even with the rewards, I can't fucking be bothered. There's too much shit.
It was really funny. I was in a Twitch chat and everyone's talking about Fire Emblem. It's like, I play Fire Emblem Heroes. Was that good for beginners? And I'm like, someone in chat was like, no, and I was like, there are actually 50 modes in it that are all different enough. They all have their own thing going on. Easy to get mind boggled.
Yeah, basically, I'm really especially having to do shit daily just to get anywhere is just kind of and that was also kind of a problem with Regalia initially. It seems not as bad now because the game just shit stuff into your mouth for just playing at all, which is great. And they reduced the amount of war might you need to roll, which is fantastic. Just stuff like that. I haven't spent a fucking penny on Regalia Lost since I picked it back up. And I don't intend to, basically ever. But and then also having a new iPad means the game is actually visible and playable. That moment in the stream where I went and changed my graphics options and suddenly the giant green squares were now actual visible effect boxes.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
It remembered my settings were set at minimum from the other iPad and set them to actual, I have a processor now. It's oh shit, the game actually looks quite nice. It runs very smoothly, it's really nice. And I just continue to resent the fact that they claimed that game was playable on an original iPad. It's
I mean, it was playable.
It's very debatable. You could run it on an iPad, right? Whether you could play it, that's a different question entirely.
I mean, you did play it.
I attempted to play it, let's just put it like that. But yeah, man, they've designed their way and patched their way out of a lot of the major issues I had with it.
That's just all we could do at that point.
I don't remember, by the way. Basically using it as podcast material, essentially. That's why we're playing it again.
Yes.
Chris wanted to have his chance again, and so did I. And here we are.
What event is this? Okay. Oh, grillers!
I have the tent umbrella.
Oh, I did all I could.
Oh, well, right now I'm just giving my impressions of having returned to Dragalia Lost. And it is definitely a lot better, I will not deny. I don't know if it's completely my speed, just because controlling a 3D action game thing with a touchscreen is never going to be my speed. But it is perfectly playable and functional, and, you know, looks fucking nice. Music's great when, you know, if they're licensing properly. Yeah. It's fun times now. And we'll see if that lasts. And I may eventually end up annoying Chris for refusing to play Adventure, and just kind of like, I don't want it, too much commitment, I don't want to do it. But we'll see.
I don't want to hear anything about that. Oh! Oh, jeez. Meanwhile, Girls Front Line is interesting. The game that I played. It's actually, the way I would describe it is, you barely play it, and it's more about the team building. It's like 95% team building, which, for me in particular, is actually really good, because that's my favorite part of any of these games. You know, just building up the characters, making them more powerful, and then turning on auto battle and getting the materials to make the team better. Basically,
this is kind of why I described it as a mercenary logistics simulator in my guide post there. The one I wrote before I wrote the specific one for you.
Then the game just has a slope of story mode, more or less, where it's not like you just, okay, I'll sit down and I'll just play through a good chunk of it. It's just, you know, eventually you hit a wall and then you can't really do much about it. So the game is mostly about timers. There's a timer. Basically, the gacha isn't really a gacha. You just use one of your 4 overall like game resources to make something, and then you just wait for a random amount of time depending on the unit. And you can do that as many times as you want, because the item that like is the you know, you can roll is like nigh infinite even now. So
yeah,
it really just kind of comes down to your resources in the end, which, you know, you kind of want to save up for those because you use them for everything else as well. But so getting units isn't a problem. And the game's been spoiling me because I've been getting a lot of good ones, so I have no idea what it's like to be
rare. In like the first few days, he got AK-12. The first few days, I fucking backflipped up my own asshole.
Like, I have no idea what the game progresses like for a normal person, but it has, even then, it has a system where to basically like improve your bigger units, you need more of a certain material that is hard to come by, so sometimes it's just better to use the baby ones because then they get their upgrades
very
more easily. Yeah, which is an interesting balance quirk, but it's not really something I'm interested in. I kind of don't like thinking, so I'm just like, I just want to make my team what it's gonna be in the end, and then work from there. But I mean, so far it's been working, so it could be worse. But yeah, there's a timer for rolling. There's a timer for, you know, building equipment. There's a timer for upgrading your units. There's a timer for repairing your units after, you know, because the damage they take in fights doesn't regenerate. You have to physically do that yourself, which sounds bad, like it's like it halts progress, but that's basically the stamina in this game. Because it doesn't have stamina, but that is the stamina. So, and you know, like every other mobile game, they just give you an infinite amount of stamina regenerating items, so that it's not actually a problem.
You just get drowned in them. I have 500 of the fucking things.
Yeah, so you just get a thing that allows them to be repaired immediately, and I have like 140 already. So
Sounds about right, yeah.
that's the thing. But it doesn't come without its problems. That's for sure, this whole setup. Where basically, I believe that the game kind of, like, you either have to have an infinite amount of foresight or, like, sit down and plan out your day, or you just have to wait for the game to tell you when to play it instead of, like, oh, I'm at this dog's house and, you know, I have nothing to do, it's longer than I thought, so I'm gonna sit down and play Girls Frontline. That's not really how it works half the time, or at least for me. Because, you know,
yet, I think you're still
Ah!
actually getting...
Whoa! Because you're like, oh, I'm gonna put this character in one of my main teams in the upgrade bay, and then that's a few hours, right? And then you can't, like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about, yeah. But the only way to get them out is to quick it, like make it end sooner. You can't just pull them out.
The quick trading contracts are the rarest goddamn thing in the game.
Yeah, which is a problem because, you know, then you're literally stuck waiting there. Oh, come on! Whoa! Like, you literally cannot play the game. And there are other things that are like that, too. I just can't really think of what comes to mind. There are at least, like, 2 other kind of things like that where you put your team in a thing and then, you can't use them because, you know, it would be just a very bad idea to pull them out of it immediately. Or not pull them out, but, yeah. And that just kind of feels bad if it's a thing where you can pull them out, but, like, they're already over halfway through and they've been in there for 3 hours. Yeah. That just kind of feels bad. It's not necessarily actually that bad, but it just feels bad to do. And that's the thing is, you can't upgrade or you can't upgrade your units while they're doing something like that. You can't change them while they're doing something like that. You can't change their equipment while they're doing something like that. And that just makes it very clunky because it's like, okay, I want to rebalance my teams because I got something in the gacha that I, you know, want to put up in my main team and then move everyone else down, but you can't do that because you can't upgrade anything, and that's something that I think they could have very easily changed because it doesn't really affect anything. But it's kind of like a thing where it's like, oh, we want it to be kind of realistic. They're not at the base, so you can't do it, even though it's a video game, and convenience should come before that. But, I mean, so far, it's really not.
As a big art games or art fucker, I'll challenge you. I'll fight you on that one at some point. But on that specific point of it's a game, so it should be convenient.
I mean, like, if it's a game that's meant to be inconvenient, sure, but, like, for something like this, I don't really see a reason for it to be like that, other than, because then, you know, oh, I'm afraid I'm gonna forget, or, like, because, you know, you put the game down and you continue on with your life, and then you're like, okay, time to play the game. It's like, oh, I forgot to do the thing, and then I put someone else in there, and it's just a clusterfuck. Oh, wow, we are not even close here.
Yeah, nah, we're fine. What the hell are Evan?
Hey, Evan. Sam, Rod.
I want to see your deep dream art of calaveras in my movie. I want to see the neon trippy skulls. But yeah, like, part of it is like all the management and planning shit. I would say it's a matter of perspective, I guess, but I would say that is playing the game, and I really like that end of it. I guess call me boring, maybe it's the fact that I'm a software engineer and basically rearranging everything is my entire job. But
I mean, I have like OCPD, so I don't know if it's... more of
right, you
the
actually
only
do have
stream,
like
but it's like basically I schedule everything in my day out, and then when it doesn't go that way, I'm like, it like makes me anxious or just like makes me
okay.
not like, oh, I didn't stream today, you know, I like even though I
Yeah.
said I was going to. So it's kind of like, you know, okay, because I know I'm gonna be away for like 3 hours, I'm gonna put these guys in for 3 hours. And then when I get home and I'm waiting for Gavin or whatever, eating lunch, then I can play the game because I want to progress. But then it's snowing outside, apparently. This happened today. And,
Okay.
so, I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to drive in the snow because it's like extremely risky. So I kind of want to stay at the dog's place until the second visit because it's like really short in between. So I was like, okay, well, can't really play the game now. And then it was like, oh, but I was also like, you know, I was gonna go get a haircut because I have Mo hair right now, and
What?
like Mo from the Three Stooges,
Okay.
and I hate it. So that was gonna, you know, kind of extend the time, and then obviously because it's snowing, I didn't want to drive down there. I tried to do as little driving as possible, so that's less time on the clock, and it's like well, and then you can only do so much with the game when you aren't actually playing it. Like, you know, the repair contracts make it so when you are playing it, it's good, but you know, like you have to kind of be ready to play it, and that screwed me up. And I was like, oh great, what do I do now? Because I did everything in Drugalia. So
You do eventually reach a decadent state where none of this becomes an issue. You can just chop and change and rearrange as you like on the fly. You know, just have so much shit that it literally doesn't matter anymore.
I mean, from the people that came into my Twitch chat, which you know are turbo nerds, you know, I say in an endearing way, by the way, like because you know they love their game enough to look it up on the Twitch archive
And read,
and like
someone.
yeah, and watch it and stuff. Like, but those people are complaining that, oh yeah, these quick things are rare, you know. It's kind of
Yeah.
like, okay, well, I guess it's never gonna get better.
I mean, quick repair, they're not quick. Quick training never gets better. Everything else basically does. Part of it is that because you're still establishing all your teams, you don't have anyone you can always just completely rely on just yet. Whereas once you get like that first like set of that first team who will get to all like level 90 X5, like that's them. Like they're set. You can just always have them, and they can just stomp shit and play the game with you, while like your new guys are training and all the rest of it.
Yeah, because it's like you never know who's actually the best. Because like it's funny because Gavin said don't go on Game Press, but I did. I did anyway, and it's funny because their tier list page says, you know, units have a bunch of different uses. Like you might throw out one because, you know, like one that's useful in a specific mode because we said it's not that good for like a majority of the other content and put it pretty low. And then
so asset that they said negative was completely shit and shouldn't be used when she's the single best unit to be used for the engine.
Yeah, so they're like, so we're just giving descriptions of each of them, and then like half of them are like, you know, this person has a lower rate of fire than this person. Like, it's like
yeah, a lot of it's also like you should just use on 45, and then you read on 45 page and she's shit. You should use someone else. It's like
I'm just like,
it's also not true by the way. It's just one of the best submachine guns in the game.
well, you're basically tiering them anyway. You might as well just have like a tier list for night battles, a tier list for support units, you know, and then tier them there because you're already doing it. But
I mean, this is why I'm saying don't use Game Press, because like they don't know what the fuck they're talking about or doing, and half the time when they tell you advice, they're completely wrong anyway. Like, you know, like that's just kind of the short of it, is that they have presumably had some sort of like reader-based schism that made them have to write this disclaimer, but they haven't changed any of the info, and the people who wrote the bad info are still writing bad info. So, you know, you don't read it. They're bad and shit. a lot of it really is just learning by doing.
Yeah, the point is that I don't know, like, which units I have are actually good and which units are better that I can potentially get. So it's like, I'm like upgrading my team and then I roll someone. It's like, oh, that's better than this person that you literally just spent all of your level up materials on. And it's like, oh, that's just great.
Building a lot faster than I ever did at the start. And I do mean a lot. Part of that's because you can afford to. It's afford BS giving you shit. But, you know. Also, yes or no, you are a
Also, for the record, the names are so unintuitive to remember. I still don't know the names of, like, even my favorite units on my main team, I still don't know the names of them.
I think that's a you thing.
Like, I think one of them has a G in it. And it's like, okay, like, they're all gun names, but, like, do we have nicknames or something? That's, like, easier for me to remember than like, a Kapshka.
The nicknames are the ones that do have nicknames. Like G11, who's also known as Sleepo Beepo.
No, I mean, like, that's relative to their actual name. Yeah, I heard. We were watching your name while you streamed. I was, like, I completely forgot that was the thing, so... Felt bad, but, I mean, you have to understand that it was worth it.
Movie is so goddamn good.
I mean, we could segue into that if you want. That was on my list.
Yeah, sure.
Without any spoilers, by the way, because, you know, it's my favorite movie of all time, and I think everyone should watch it.
That's not my favorite movie of all time, but I concur that it is, like, pretty much like one of the best anime films I've seen, and one of the best films I've seen in general.
What's your favorite movie of all time?
I don't know, but I'd have to like weigh it all up. Cause it's like,
yeah, I can understand.
On the top of my head, I was either immediately gonna say like The Raid or Terminator 2, but
I mean, from my knowledge of you, I would be like, yeah, probably Terminator 2.
Also, yes, being a turbo nerd makes you more powerful than normal nerds, and I'm rise to your title. But that's like movies in general. Die Hard also up there.
Oh, Homer.
Yeah. I got snipped, and I'm still getting snipped because there's green ink everywhere, and I can't move.
It was basically like, I saw Weathering with You, and I said it was good, and Gavin's like, I'm interested, and then I'm like, but hold on.
I've been interested since I'd seen it getting a UK release, and I was like, yeah, where am I going? Good.
I was like, hold on, don't watch that before watching Your Name. Not because it's like a sequel or anything, but because the director has a very similar kind of romantic, like, relationship with the characters. Not like it's, you know, one for one or anything, but it was reminiscent enough of Your Name, even though I saw that like 3 years ago, that I was like, okay, but like, I like Weathering with You, but I don't want that to take away from anyone's opinion of Your Name. If they go like, well, yeah, I kind of experienced this before, so, you know, it's getting cliche or something like that. I don't want anyone to think that. But we watched Your Name.
Remember, I thought when you said you were watching Your Name, you were looking for my name in the chat. But yes, it is an impeccably good film. Just from a general filmmaking standpoint, and also just from having a story that at one point just had me on the edge of my goddamn seat for the best part of half an hour. If not more. I don't know the exact length of when that bit happened to when it ended. But it was just genuine, the edge of my seat, just like fucking like brain racing, going like, oh my god, fuck. And then after the movie finished, I was just kind of buzzing and vibrating with just an energy, and just being like, emotions are still processing themselves.
Yeah.
registering everything just with like over it in my head, going like, oh, there's this in the movie, and like, oh, that happened. It's fucking great. I was, you know, like, I wasn't the sort to like tear off out of it. It did make me just like, it did get me.
Yeah, it's like it's not one of those movies where you know, it only works if you're an emotional person. It's just that's
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
like the icing on the cake. The strawberry on the shortcake, as it were.
That is a goddamn good movie, and it's especially stunning because his previous film, The Garden of Words, was goddamn shit. Because Your Name is basically just like, it feels, at least partially for a bit, like calling a do-over and doing Garden of Words, but like it's an actual written film that has things going on, and then it just becomes its own thing and even better. So a big part of the problem with Garden of Words was that it just didn't have an ending. It just stopped. Like after 40 minutes, and like literally the movie ends at 40 minutes and just stopped. And it's like,
That's it.
Around the point where I thought Your Name was wrapping up, it, you know, it then just keeps going, and it's like, ooh,
You have the thing.
I don't, I have grenades. But yeah, no, it's fucking brilliant movie. Absolutely gorgeous. Soundtrack is just wall-to-wall bangers. Like you could almost nod along to the soundtrack and the animation because they're both like synced and done so well.
And
The characters are great and endearing. I've had a recent problem with a lot of anime where like it feels like they just can't write male main antagonists at all. They're always just goddamn trash heaps who got hit. And in any good society it would be just, you know, kicked into a bin and left there. But you know, this actually writes a goddamn fun and interesting human being for its male protagonist, so that's good. I mean, basically anything outside of Trigger can't write a male protagonist anymore, it feels like. Yeah, it's really good, really endearing, very emotional movie that does, like, just fucking get you going. It will fucking get you one way or another. Yeah, I would just automatically recommend that to anyone, all the time.
watch it now.
At some point over, like, if not this weekend, then I think the weekend coming, or next week, it'll be next week, I will go see Byleth, and that's it.
Does it not end on Thursday? The showing?
Nope. There's a theater here, the Queen's Film Theater, a little indie theater at the university I went to. They're doing their run of it on Friday coming, and all through the next week.
Oh wait, so it's not on for you now, is it?
No, it is, but
Okay.
the one that's on now was like a double bill of Your Name and Weathering with You. And I hadn't watched Your Name at that point, and I did want to see it. I don't like going to double bills. I went to a double bill once of Man of Steel and Batman vs Superman, and I've never regretted anything more in my life.
Well, but those are bad movies, right?
Well, it's not just that they're bad movies; it's also that after the length of one film, your average cinema's like theater seats starts to just hurt my ass, and it just feels uncomfortable, and I keep shuffling like. Argh.
That's what it was like with Promare. They had a double showing of something, and I was like, not interested. It's like at the end of one movie, I think I'm done.
I don't mind watching multiple movies. I just need like, you know, a comfy thing to sit on or be at. Like the sofas in my house or my bed, or you know, just not a fairly stiff cinema chair, which is fine for one movie, but after that it starts making me flustered and iffy. I'm not even going to rise to that BSMM.
If I'm being honest, I don't like movie theaters because I can't feel comfortable with myself because there are people around. Like, I want to laugh, but then, like, I don't want to laugh because, you know, might annoy the person next to me, or, like...
I have long since resigned myself to just not giving a shit what people care. Something about cunt anyway.
It's like, even just how I'm sitting. Like, is something I'm conscious of when someone's sitting even just one seat over. Or 2 seats over, I guess, by that point, but...
Also, I watched Batman vs Superman because my friends keep wanting to see comic book movies, or at least at that time did, and it was like, well, you know, worst case scenario, I can sit there next to David and both of us can just shit talk the movie throughout. Going to the Konosuba movie alone was an interesting one.
Yeah, that, I don't know if I would have the balls to do that.
I mean, I was among my kind there, so, you know.
I guess,
I don't give a shit.
Konosuba is like an anime that I don't like to say that I liked it, but I did.
Remarkable amount of girls in that theater, and that's what tickled me. I don't think you ever said how you first watched Dragon Ball Evolution to memory. No. It's never come up and never should, frankly.
Yeah, I was like, after that point, I realized, like, because you're like, oh yeah, we'll watch it on my Blu-ray, because I didn't want to have that flag or something. I was like, oh yeah, I don't have that yet. So I bought it. It's coming on Monday. And I'm like...
Wait, you're getting the movie on Blu-ray now?
Yeah.
Son of a bitch. You don't even have it released announced yet.
Not really.
No.
I'm like, maybe...
It'll come eventually, but, like, still.
I mean, there's, like, a special edition that's still being sold, so I got that. And I looked at my bank account, and I'm like, oh, what happened? I'm like, oh, yeah. Perfect.
Okay, next weekend, let's watch the Konosuba movie. That's fucking great. Watch Konosuba. It's like, it's goddamn funny. It's like the best isekai ever.
It has fan service, if you can call it that at
But
points.
if you're watching anime, you're in for that. Who cares? And if you're like, well, that disturbs me, I'm kind of like, well, why are you here?
But it's like, the thing is, despite that, it has more good points than, like, awkward points like that. There's some, like, actually bad things.
Calls that awkward points, mind you. Sure. I feel like it fit the entire tone and humor of the show because that was half the point. Actually, on that note, what do you consider a bad point of Konosuba?
One line in the succubus part sticks out to me. Sure, there were 2 other things like that concerning one of the main characters using one of the cursed words.
Damn, I don't remember.
I don't even want to say it.
Well, don't say it.
Yeah, I think the plan is, if Luke agrees, or just isn't doing some dumb shit with the schedule, I get Your Name on Monday, then we watched Your Name on Monday, and then we go see Weather with you on Tuesday.
Oh, right, no, I see. Right, that's what I was like, because you said Konosuba was also Monday. I was like, wait, did you mix the films up?
Did I say Konosuba was also Monday? Yeah.
You sure you did? You said you ordered it Monday, or you were getting it Monday?
No, that was Your Name. Did I say Konosuba instead of Your Name? Ah!
When we were talking about the Konosuba movie, I'm pretty sure you said Monday.
I don't know. I didn't get to watch that because that was a month before we watched it. So
yeah, but is it coming to Blu-ray there now? Or?
I don't know.
Okay, so you were saying Konosuba when you meant Your Name.
I mean, yeah, probably. You're the one who is keeping track of it, not me. So you'll tell me when we can watch it. More or less.
We are waiting for a UK Blu-ray release.
I mean, if the UK doesn't have Your Name 3 years later, maybe I should be checking that.
No, we do have. We watched my Blu-ray of here, Liam.
Oh yeah, what the hell were you? Oh wait, okay.
Honestly, with the movie.
That was me. Okay.
Are you here for this conversation?
I'm playing Salmon Run as well. I guess we aren't quite there yet, but anime. We're watching MILF anime now, and so far so not good. But I'll give it a chance because the concept is interesting, but I don't think they're gonna execute it well.
No. But we're just there for the MILF anyway, let's be real. And that's Okasan Online, if you're wondering.
Yeah, because when you think about it, there are probably a lot of those.
New Dragon Ball. I hadn't really watched much of it. The movie was kind of shit. Later, while I watched the show, I remember the movie, and I was just thinking, did they even try to make anything vaguely resembling a show? It's basically just an insult to fans. Yeah, Dragon Ball Evolution is just straight up a insult to fans and fucking Dragon Ball itself, really.
Is that
Let's
new
take
thing
Dragon
that
Ball.
just came out?
No, it was the live action American take of Dragon Ball, where it's like we're gonna adapt to the original Dragon Ball, but we're gonna set it in an American high school, and Goku's gonna be bullied for some reason, and he's gonna be like this unassuming white dork who's like very soft and everything, and not at all Goku in any way. He's gonna be bullied and called Giku, and it was so bad. It was just the worst.
Isn't that
It genuinely at points just felt straight up like almost like this was made with some sort of like pseudo-racist intent to just completely disrespect a foreign property. That's how bad it was. I began to think like it was done on purpose because they fucking hated people who weren't American.
Isn't that new Dragon Ball thing also garbage?
No. From all I've seen of it, it looks like a fairly functional Dragon Ball game. It does some goofy things with lore, but it's there, it exists. Hello, Super Jim Club. David's playing it right now, he seems content enough with it.
I only heard a few bad things about it.
You know, like every time that you say this, you listen to like a Twitch streamer who gets everything that isn't Nintendo.
Yeah, I think it was a random up there.
That's even more.
You can't just retcon this thing or whatever.
No, yeah, it does like a stupid like. I assume it's some sort of like bizarre translation group where like they either didn't know what it was talking about, the translator, or they just, I don't know, there was like some attempt to rewrite a basic simple detail of Piccolo blowing up the moon or something, which happens. That's a plot point.
No, it was an illusion.
Oh yeah, no, the game tries to say, oh, it was an illusion of the moon. It's like, no, he just blew up the moon and they wished it back later. I don't even think they wished it back later. I think there's just no moon in that world now. It's actually the second time the moon got blown up, but for the same reason both times, too. Dragon Ball's an interesting series. You gotta blow up the moon to stop a giant monkey.
It sounds like they do that all.
Fairly reliably. Yeah, gonna see weather review on the weekend.
Also, I don't really have a metric for my favorite movies beyond top 3, so
That's fair.
like I have no idea.
That. I just have a cluster of movies I say are like extremely good and I would always watch. Ooh, Jesus. Fuck me, Christ. So many goddamn snakes.
Oh,
Or at least the same goddamn snake is doing a very good job of like blocking.
I think Nick still got that, despite the wire getting in the way. Pretty good. Remember to use your specials in wave 3. What else was there? Oh yeah. Smash Brothers. It's like Pokemon. It's like Pokemon where I like don't even know if I want to bother, you know? It's like what's the point?
I mean, like, it is an extremely obvious choice in retrospect.
I mean, I fully expected it as the post-Fighter's Pass thing. I thought Byleth was going to be the one right after that, like, guaranteed.
Ah, yeah. Like Aki pointed out on Twitter that Three Houses inexplicably didn't have a spirit board for ages, and it's kind of like, okay, yeah, that's a pretty big tell.
And then they put one up for, what's that game? The dog mascot. Astral Chain. They put one for Astral Chain up as well. It's like, well.
Deconfirmed.
Deconfirmed.
Oh, good, I'm none. Why would I get none of you?
Because you're too high up, remember?
No, I don't.
It doesn't actually come from the ground, it comes from you. I mean, as far as, like, character themselves, I go pretty much like a heavy character, which is good, because more heavy characters is good, so I hope they're good. Because a lot of heavy characters don't seem good.
I repeat that entirely, but it's good.
Bowser's, like, probably the best. Everyone shits on Donkey Kong. Luke mains DK. It's like, it's so sad, but Donkey Kong is funny. But, like, you know, it's like how Piranha Plant is a heavy character. Did you know that? Piranha Plant's a heavy character despite not looking like it. I'm almost certain Byleth is. Based on how slow a lot of their moves are. And, you know, the one move that's just, Ganon's up tilt. Or, but what, like, what is the move I'm thinking of specifically? It's like Hash and Mamba with super armor, more or less. And then
yeah.
Sakurai was pointing out, oh yeah, you can just easily counter this. And then it'll, like, kill them immediately because it's so powerful and it's easy to avoid. And then the arrow that goes all the way across the screen. Yeah, if you have a reflector or, like, anything that can deal with projectiles, like, it's pretty easy. I'm like, Sakurai, you're supposed to be selling us on this character, not saying two of their moves have pretty big, wall points here.
But I maintain that I fully believe that while this was decided ages ago, after a point, Sakurai specifically began to build this explicitly to cause chaos, because his smile when he was putting up, like, the posters after the reveal trailer, he knew what the reactions were being, and he was laughing to himself.
No, he's just a nice man who's happy that the characters he got to work on are in the game now, finally.
And he is actually just enjoying the rampage he's called. I do not blame him. I fully headcanon that he hates the Smash Founders, and by like you know, completely rightly, he should. That said, I would probably care more about Byleth if I had to play Three Houses by this point, but I haven't yet.
Yeah, but even then, it's like even the Fire Emblem fans aren't entirely too happy, because it's either like, you know, I had bigger picks, or like it should have been someone else, even though that was an impossibility, because oh, you know, you have one lord from
one of the lords, you have to do all three lords. There's no way around it.
So, like, that would be ridiculous. It's just like, and then, you know, obviously, ever since, like, well, Korn was the big bad one, because Fates wasn't even good. So, like, at least Three Houses is good, but now it has the whole Corrin mindset behind it, so that's why everyone is extremely angry.
Everyone's extremely angry because their list of inexplicable wants like Shantae or Bandana Waddle Dee didn't get in. That's not like, you know, protect the Shrieky fan base for being absolute children about this.
I mean, I will predict that, or protect that it was a bad call to have the first four of the five fighters be third party, and then Byleth.
I do kind of agree with that. I feel like if you should have opened or had Byleth early on.
Yeah, like have Byleth as 3 or something, and then
Yeah.
that would give the people who want actual Nintendo characters hope, like me. As much as I love third party reveals because they're hype as heck, and you know, even kind of get you interested in other games like with Terry. I do still love
fighting game streams, Chris.
I do still love the Nintendo characters, and not just because Paper Mario is the only character I actually want, but yeah, there are a lot of good Nintendo characters still in there as well, like Luigi. You know.
Is Luigi a character, really?
Yes. You wouldn't know yet. I still think Bandana Waddle Dee makes sense.
I think that is like the only legitimate call for the least of a slot that this game could ever have.
Because Kirby's huge. Waddle Dees have been in the series forever, and that's just a notable.
I mean, you might as well have a Goomba.
Everyone loves Waddle Dees.
Item.
Yeah, but they did. Called Piranha Plant, more or less. And I like Piranha Plant because of that concept, you know? Like, it makes sense. It would fit if a Goomba was in Smash.
It's more novel than I am a small nugget that just uses standard weapons.
Like, Goomba was added in Super Mario Party. It's like, where were you? Like, Blooper got in 3 games before you. Fucking Blooper! Who even remembers Blooper's an enemy?
Tragic choices.
Hammer Brother!
That
like,
kind of speaks to me how, like, miserable Mario Party has gotten that that's what they're doing.
Well, they put Bowser in and then a bunch of, you know, enemies. That was kind of the thing. The opening is like, Bowser just comes, like, they're like, alright, time to play the board game to see who's the superstar. Bowser's like, hold up! What if one of us is the superstar? Huh? Did you ever think about that, bitch? It's like, you know what, Bowser? Bowser, you have a point. Yeah, I mean, because, you know, like with Terry, admittedly, I wasn't plussed by Terry because I didn't know who he was, and, like, fighting game character, whatever, not my thing. But then Luke started maining Terry, and it's just, like, he's a really fun character to watch, even if he can be 9-framed, so, you know, in the end, Terry was, like, a great addition. I'm pretty sure Byleth is also going to be a great addition, even if Luke, well, yeah, Luke is probably not even going to try them, to be honest, but...
Well, you gonna play?
I can only play as Yoshi, so no.
Well, now's the time.
I was talking about it actually. I think I tweeted about it where it was like, like they're slow on the ground, and then I was like expecting to say, but they have fast airspeed? But they have fast airspeed so that I can, you know, kind of relay them to Yoshi and play as them? Maybe? No?
You need to just go into like the little Mac hyperbolic chambers and, you know, not come out until you never jump again.
It's like the closest character to Yoshi is Jigglypuff. And I could probably rock an amazing Jigglypuff. But I am against Jigglypuff as a character, as a Pokemon, but especially as a Smash character. Because Jigglypuff doesn't even deserve to get in. If you want a character who doesn't deserve to get in, it's fucking Jigglypuff. Oh, Jigglypuff was in Smash 64 only because it was a meme in the anime. That's it.
It was the anime that helped make Pokemon a world-dominating force.
It's not even a good Pokemon, so... I refuse to play Jigglypuff. Also, isn't Hungrybox a dick and he mains Jigglypuff in Melee or something? I don't really know about that.
Yeah, but then, you know, like, all the Melee players are, like, massive dicks, so by association, like, you know, like, Fox, Marth, Ice Climber, none of them should be in ever.
I mean, no one's about to play Ice Climbers.
The thing is, I wouldn't mind Shantae as a character. It's just like if you see like a major mainline Nintendo character getting in over Shantae, and you start screeching like that's an impossibility and unfair. Like, I want to know like what fucked up like neo anti-world you live in where that would ever be just.
I mean, I haven't seen a Shantae Smash thing in eons, but it's
I
like a
saw quite a
V
few in
costume
the
thing.
outrage from uh the outrage from Byleth.
Shantae can be a me costume. That fit,
She
I think.
could. She could be like the melee one, the fist fighter one.
Because she doesn't use a gun or whatever the other me fighter is.
I mean, I guess she could use her hair whip like a sword. That'd be funny.
That would require new animations, which
That
a
would,
me
yeah.
fighter,
So,
like not even Sans gets. So
I mean, I guess like really, actually, I think she'd actually be better as like an assist trophy that just like does her dance to turn into an animal and do something.
yeah. Well, but that's already taken by whatever that kid's name is. He yells in Japanese and then turns into a frog and makes the cartoon fighting smoke cloud appear. It's just the thing about assist trophies is no one wants them because no one wants to play with items, so they basically don't exist.
They're doing that for themselves.
Whereas, like, at least people play as the Miis, because this isn't Smash 4 where they were illegal in, like, tournaments and stuff, so... I don't even remember if Miis were allowed online. I think they weren't allowed online.
I don't remember. I never used
Just
them
like,
because like
why would you ever main this character if you can only use them
never
locally?
use these abominations before God ever. So.
Okay, now I wonder what the Smash players are gonna do. You know, they just started calling me Gunner Sans, which is my favorite joke. But
I mean, that's good.
But now what are they gonna do now that Cuphead is also a me Gunner?
Just
Like
alternate names. There's like an assist trophy character for like the lead of like a Nintendo
Legend of
game,
Sable, I think, something like that.
something like that, and he's an assist trophy in Smash Ultimate.
I think he was also in Smash.
I wouldn't remember him. He actually appears, if I remember right, in Link's Awakening as a little gag reference because that was also on the Game Boy.
Yeah, that game needs more original content. I'm sick of that game.
I haven't played the remake yet. It's sitting here. I need to get to it. Alright, it's this one. Fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, just like, and I mean, I refute the like, it's true, and it'll make me sound like one of the ungrateful people, but it's like for the people who are like, there's 6 more, like, calm down, there's 6 more. That's like at least several months more of waiting for a potential reveal of them, let alone them coming in the game. So it's like, I'd rather have the character I want first. I don't think it's a very unreasonable statement.
I mean, like, Smash Ultimate has already been, like, extraordinarily kind to my exact wants and needs, so,
Yeah, it's like, if I ever actually played Smash again and actually could learn a character other than Yoshi, it'd probably be Banjo. Just because he's the most animated character in the game, and he has all the sound effects that I like, so...
He also has, like, this fucking deathly stare that looks like he's on a constant, like, the edge of, a rage fit.
Yeah, I don't know why they did that to his torso, also.
Microsoft mandated to make him look buff.
Not a fan of that at all.
That is, by the way, like, why Cuphead got in, because it's, it's a Microsoft boom, essentially, that whole partnership that, like, Cuphead to get on Switch.
Yeah, and I wouldn't even be surprised if Cuphead was, like, one of the top-selling games on Switch.
I wouldn't be surprised either. It's very much like this is a thing Nintendo fans are letting shit out of, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The Switch fan base is already very, very kind to indie games in terms of sales.
Like, I kind of hope that all DLC starts coming with a Mii fighter that's just a full reskin of an indie character.
That would be
Because
neat.
it's such a cool concept. It's like, you know, you're putting indie characters into the game as fighters, but like not really, you know?
Yeah.
So people are saying like Hollow Knight for me Sword Fighter, and I think that'd be cool. I haven't played Hollow Knight, but everyone says it's good. Everyone except Luke, so everyone says it's good.
I still have to play it. You got it for me for Christmas at one point. It's still on the list to do.
Because it seems like a very Gavin core kind of game. Ah!
I like that that's become a term you're
Yeah,
using.
I've been
I
using
didn't pick
Luke
up
core.
about that.
Okay, this works. It's like, I'm like middling on Byleth, I'd say. Like, I'm almost certain I'm gonna like them in the game. So like, and you know, they aren't a bad
I still don't
pick.
have the fighter pass at all, so I don't have any of them. I've never tried any of them.
I was like
It's something
expecting
that will
Byleth
fit.
anyway, so it was an
Try these
inevitability.
characters.
It was definitely a hype killer, that is for sure. And then now we have more months of people. Like, at least if they kicked off one of the characters that everyone keeps wanting in the game, then that will shut some fraction of the people up for the next Infinity. You
Don't
know?
want that because then it's like, well, you can pick Waluigi or Bound Down Wallaby, or not. You can pick good characters. Like at this point, I'd rather like largely not listen to the fans unless it's one that's like actually genuinely interesting, like fucking like Banjo was.
I don't think Banjo was that interesting. But Banjo is Geno too, more or less.
When Banjo was a very interesting choice for me, just because of the, what it says about how Nintendo and Microsoft are getting along.
Yeah, there's that. But I know like Banjo is more prominent than Geno, but it had the same vibe as like he's been dead for years. Like him coming back now would be weird for Smash, like not even with his own game or anything. And then it happened, and I'm like, yeah. I mean, I'm glad. Do you think Geno's gonna get in?
Honestly, I feel like he's going to be the 11th.
The very yeah.
Yeah, they're going to wait all the way to the fucking end, and Sakurai's going to enjoy every last goddamn second of it, and then then it'll happen.
You know, Toaster Man pops in my
Oh, yeah,
chat occasionally.
Yeah.
He really wants Geno in Smash. He's always wanted Geno in Smash. So every time there's an announcement, he streams just in case Geno's added. So that would be really funny if we had like another 2 years of that.
I feel kind of sorry. I can't understand why he seems mad all the time.
He was really he pulled up Bloon's tower defense during the Byleth part. He was just so upset. But I mean, the Smash fans do bring up a point. Why the blue hair again? Is that just a thing that like they all gotta have? The Fire Emblem, main characters, the blue hair.
Byleth's hair is green.
No, oh Gavin.
No, it's green.
I'm not gonna say anything, but it's blue.
No, it's green.
It becomes green. But it's not green.
It starts as a dark green, yeah. Like a watery dark green, but it starts as a dark green.
I think you have to get your monitor checked.
I think the guy who wears glasses probably doesn't have the best vision.
That does nothing to do with the color. If I took off the glasses, I'd still be able to see the color. I would just be blurry. Please get your facts straight.
Yeah, Assassin's Creed was a weird fucking costume.
Yeah, I fucking didn't even remember. Like, I don't give a shit about Assassin's Creed, so I didn't even commit it to memory, but like, no one was talking about it, too. They're just like, oh, Assassin's Creed, that's weird, and then, that's it.
The rabbits came up and I was like, skip through the VOD. They wait like 20 seconds. The weird thing to me about the Assassin's Creed one was the logo wasn't even Assassin's Creed, it was just Altair, which is the original assassin from like the first Assassin's Creed game, as if he's his own brand.
Why isn't it Ezio? Isn't Ezio the popular one? Ah!
He is, he's also the good one.
So why not him?
I don't know. He also would have had a better, more striking looking costume.
Yo, you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna make a me costume for Travis.
It was Assassin's Creed and Origins, but all tight ear in the American. That's
Yeah.
Okay, so Chris had sent me the American as well, and that's what I had watched. That's very weird. That is very, very weird.
Also, I'm back in the groove, by the way. I have not been paying attention to Salmon Run at all. Wire in the controller doesn't bother me. And the lack of sound affects nothing. So,
Back. He's back, ladies and gentlemen.
that's all it took. I mean, at least they acknowledged the sword thing and then gave him like different weapons as well. Like,
Yeah.
that's interesting. And it's funny, just like people drawing fan art of like Byleth just taking all of the three lords' weapons and then, you know, them being taken over by a swarm of enemies because they can't defend themselves.
My favorite gag was pointing at how male Byleth was completely serious and the female Byleth just looks like she's stoned out of her mind.
Even though that's not how it's been forever. Apparently, like, female Byleth never smiles. And then just in the trailer, that's all she was.
Yeah. So I haven't played Three Houses, but I'm pretty sure like Sophos would probably be my favorite character because she's a tiny little shit that sasses you all the time.
That's what I was thinking too. Like in Fire Emblem Heroes too. Like, she seems good.
Sophos is a sass monster, good to know. Probably gonna like her the most then.
It's all a meme that was, you know, the, like, when you're sad, that's because there's a tiny little gremlin in your head. Take him out and beat him. Is that but with Sophos?
God. You can marry her as either gender. But isn't she like in your head?
Don't worry, look, don't even ask. Yeah, see, that's like a question you're going to be asking for spoiler.
Yeah, okay, no, don't answer, but
And I think I know the answer. Thanks, Sakurai. But don't worry about it.
how they agree with me that Dark Souls was the most important game of the decade. I also insist Dark Souls be the most important game of the next decade.
I mean, my man has an amiibo, so where is he?
I'm sorry that hasn't been a Mii fighter yet.
Like, there are 6 whole characters. Like, all those wild ones, it's like, because there's 6 of them, it could be anyone now. It's like, you know, you go, oh, well, you know, Dark Souls would be my, like, 5th pick. Like, there are 4 other characters that I think are more important. Well, guess what, buddy? That means that you could get in. That's, like, crazy. I do worry about Sakurai, though. I have a feeling that he's not as involved as he used to be. There are going to be 6 more, though.
I feel like he probably like picks and probably does like some basic production like oversight work and shit. I don't think he actually does any.
Yeah, any like of the programming or something.
I mean, I don't think he's done that like fucking ever after like the first Smash Brothers. I imagine he's not like in a director's role or anything for this shit. I imagine it's just like production, like producer oversight. And I think that too. I think like after Ultimate, he's probably just done.
Yeah.
And honestly, good.
That's
like,
why he's putting 6 more characters in.
Yeah. Like let him have his like grand standoff and everything. Absolutely. Let him like pick 6 more choices. You know, have all this goddamn fun, and then you know just like let him go, let him rest. Sakurai had a hard life.
So how many Mario characters are in Smash? For reference here.
I don't know.
Because we're at like 8 Fire Emblems, right? So
We're at 6 Fire Emblems.
The hell was 8, and then they made up 1/10 of the roster.
Is it?
Not sure. I'm not too lazy to count. My point is
9 Mario currently.
9 Mario. Fuck. Like my point is, there wouldn't be too much Mario if they added Paper Mario. That's all I'm saying.
No,
But that's ridiculous.
Mario.
Like Mario's the flagship, and he's only like one more. That's so funny to me.
Making some of the biggest money for Nintendo right now.
I think it's the fan artists.
I think it's the gacha game. To be fair,
Which is the official
like,
artist.
So like several million. Like it is done exceptionally well.
I mean, when you think about it, why do you play a gacha game? For the arts. It's the artists, ladies and gentlemen. The artists have saved Fire Emblem, as they do with literally everything.
This is why Chris doesn't play the games I play, because he can't find fan art of them. Exactly. That's why he's playing Girls Frontline, because there's that and Speeds.
There's fan art of that. It is ridiculous though, right? Like, I feel like that has such a sway, especially on like anime, you know? You see like fan art or like even just screen caps. Just anime is like the biggest word of mouth kind of thing.
Well, yeah. It's like part of its strength, I suppose.
It's like I don't know anything about like, you know, Three Houses, but I'm glad we retweet art of it.
Honestly, I feel like the next Smash game should be something like completely different. You know?
Okay, so how about you have to get them to a certain percentage, right? And then you, in order to kill them, you have to hit them with a super move.
I do it. I fucking do it.
While I was saying that, I was trying to remember like what it actually was because I forgot. Because
no, it's exactly that.
like,
it's so bad. It's so bad. A turn-based racing game. That's fun. Yeah, I feel like you know, probably still keep it a general fighting game, obviously, but like, you know, different format, different structure, something, you know, like radical overhaul.
I mean, if they want to include a bunch of these characters, because obviously for Smash and fighting games, you have to put in a shit ton of work for movesets, frame data, balancing. Yep. But for like a kart racer, you just put their model in, and they're like CTR. CTR is like bottom of putting bottom of the barrel characters in, just because Crash doesn't have anything else, but also like just because they can, you know. Because it's easy enough, probably.
Really, what I'm saying is I want, like, you know, like the dev team that made, like, Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom to make a Smash Bros. I want a 3v3 hyper fighter that's just goddamn batshit and off the wall. Where you can just, like, triple kick someone into the wall, put off one of your supers, interrupt it in the middle, swap characters, hit them once, and activate a new super.
And wait a second. You're just saying that you want Smash to be a traditional fighting game. I'm on to you.
No, but really, I specifically want it to be Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, because that game is just bullshit the video game. It's glorious.
From Nintendo? No way.
That's what I'm saying. Don't. Like, make an extra farmer at the Capcom.
But they can't do online.
Or, you know, Arcs.
Oh, wait! It's perfect! 2 peas in a pod!
Exactly. The system. But yeah, if you wanted your brick, like, do that. I want to see, like, Super HD Mario in, like, the ArcSys, like, anime engine. I
want to see Mario in Unity.
A Fire Emblem fighting game would be great. Like, actually, that's the one you should let ArcSys do, honestly. That would fit right in. It would sell, it absolutely would.
There's only so many weapons.
It's kind of weird to me that we got a Fire Emblem like Dynasty Warriors before we got a Fire Emblem fighting game. Honestly.
And everyone goes, what are you talking? least memorable game ever made. Do you have anything else you want to talk about?
For Smash? Not out now. I think I kind of. Do you mean in general, or
Yeah.
do you want to talk about Pokemon?
Oh yeah, sure. Pokemon is just another fucking Smash, you know?
I disagree outright. I think the DLC looks pretty sick.
No. Not the content, Gavin. The controversy.
Alright.
It's just like
The hordes of like actual 10-year-olds who don't understand anything.
it's just I feel like Pokemon was the meteor that hit the planet, that hit the internet, and then now the nuke, not the meteor, the nuke that hit, and then all the fallout is now hitting us with just a bunch of people being dissatisfied with everything. And it's just like I'm kind of getting tired of it. Oh, as is like everyone, probably. Oh, that's not gonna work. I still like know the timing for this. This is so ridiculous. Oh, he still got it. Missed. Oh, I missed. This kinda sucks, because usually Gavin calls out when a boss is about to hit me. No. Sit yourself.
Alright, I'll have to mute again in a few minutes, but alright. But, what did you last say on the Pokemon subject?
Just how hateful the internet is of everything at the moment.
Oh yeah. The thing is, at least from my perspective, there's been like this for at least a year, if not more. Like something about the Switch seems to have just brought out that sort of like hyper offensive, especially like Vita-oriented fanboy who demand ports for everything and also scream every time things don't go 100% exactly like their fantasies. I know.
Oh yeah, Kevin gets it. Or if he didn't get it, he probably gets it now. Woo. Like, I want to say things, but I don't want to say them without Gavin, you know what I mean? Team effort.
Alright. Yeah, like, no, because this sort of behavior has been going back to, like, at least E3 last year, where, like, Animal Crossing fans were, like, being the streakiest and windiest people on the face of the earth, because, oh no, Animal Crossing...
Oh, Animal Crossing.
Yeah, Animal Crossing. Like, because, oh no, it's like, they didn't give us a release date at this point, or oh no, they didn't show all whole new things, or oh no, it doesn't look like, I don't know, The Last of Us 2 graphically.
Yeah, they're right on that.
They're not. And it's been that sort of thing with like Nintendo fans. Just been this like extremely toxic, extremely shrieky people for a while now. It goes back to stuff like how like Sakurai and other Smash like tangentially related people were harassed heavily and openly to try and get inexplicably with Waluigi in the game and shit like that.
Even then, it's more than it's just
Oh, it's more than like the Smash fans in
just
general.
yeah.
That was the element of it at
That was
time.
that was the biggest one.
Yeah.
That was. But it's just like the Pokemon Direct was announced, and I was like, well, what? Like everyone else, what the fuck are they going to talk about? The game just came out.
Yeah, I was
But
like, how the hell?
but then I had a bad feeling about it, and I was like, why does this announcement fill me with like a feeling of nausea? And then I pinpointed it. It's no matter what they say, there's just gonna be more of the Dexit stuff. It doesn't matter what they
Yeah.
say. It's gonna be tangential to something that they don't want, and then there's gonna be a big old fuss. And sure enough, it was exactly that. It was DLC, which is like, oh, so you put out an unfinished game and then you want us to pay for the rest of it? Which, like, honestly, isn't, like, entirely wrong, but at the same time, due to the circumstances that Game Freak are in, it makes sense,
Thing is, I would argue it's less that they put an unfinished game and more that they didn't get to make the game as big as they wanted to.
Yeah. Like, putting in 200 more Pokemon. That was funny. There were some people that were like, I wasn't really interested, but then they said, Luke was one of them even. It was like, but now that they're putting in like 200 more Pokemon, like, I feel better about it. It's like, like an actual proof that they're trying to bring it back, and, that was the circumstance all along. Kind of thing. But then again, Luke doesn't keep up with news at all, so he was probably back in the like, they're reusing models mindset. Remember that
I mean,
months
yeah.
ago?
I mean, that's the thing. Like, I remember even saying to you, but back when like the exit thing was big in the hat or whatever, like, I think it was on one of these. Like, they're just gonna add them in the next thing, like the next installment of the series or the next few installments, whatever. They will add them back in. It's the same story it's always been. And sure enough, it was the same story it's always been. But people are acting like it's some new travesty. It's like, have I been the only person paying any sort of attention since I was like 6 years old to this shit? Am I the only one?
I mean, as of recent times, the only thing they added in the third version of the game was the move tutor.
No, they added in Pokemon that weren't available in the previous versions. They've been doing that
Oh,
for a
oh,
while. That's the thing, like, Pokemon Sun and Moon, couldn't get all the Pokemon in that one. You had to, like, own other games to get them. But that's been the case for, like, fucking years. Like, Pokemon Sun and Moon, Pokemon X and Y, like, Alpha, Sapphire, Omega Ruby. They've been doing that for ages. Like, in fact, I'm pretty sure X and Y in particular had a noticeable dearth of, like, Gen 3 Pokemon because they were preparing for Alpha, like, Alpha Sapphire, Omega Ruby.
I think that's
Like,
different though, because
not
correct me
at
if I'm
all.
wrong, but they said that Pokemon, they'll release Pokemon Bank later, and that's when you can move all your other Pokemon in. And then here they said nothing.
No, they said that. They said you'd be able to move all your Pokemon over to Pokemon Home.
All the
They
Pokemon
have
that were in the
always
decks.
said that. That's kind of the thing. Like, this is part of like the lies of filling up all of this. No, like, they did say you'd get all your Pokemon eventually.
I don't think they
And
said
also,
that. I think they said we're gonna try to add more. Nothing concrete.
and also, like, even then, it's still the same story the series has always been. Where as more games come out, you get more access to your old Pokemon again. Like, that is how the series has worked across its entire life.
But you
Like,
could
from the
get
moment
every
they-
Pokemon in the first game. And then the second one was when you could actually catch them. You didn't have to spin.
Sorry.
What do you mean?
When you say first and second, what do you mean?
Yo, Sapphire and Emerald. Oh!
Actually, not even then, because to get all the Pokemon that were available.
Yeah, no, that was just an example of what I was
have...
talking about, you stupid bitch. You idiots.
I don't
understand. Black 1, Black 2. Ultra, or Sun and Moon, Ultra Sun and Moon.
What about
the third version.
Yeah.
Which is, yeah. Ah. Second game. Randomness? Take that. It worked. What a legend. Oh. Yeah, we're only down to 3 people, so keep it real. You want to accidentally say this way when I say help. I have to do the claw grip. Sorry about that. It's the cable. Dark time. Oh no, I think we lose. I'm out of specials, so we have the tent umbrella at least. Gotta dig through these guys. There we go. Hope my teammates are backing me up. I can't jump. That's a problem. Right. Oh, there he is. I'm dead, more alive.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. It wasn't gonna happen, but I had some hope. Ow.
That is the point. Like, there were people who obviously complained about the Metroid Prime 4 delay, but there was nowhere near the level of all these ones. These controversies, like, you know, some people were like mad and they was like, oh, you don't understand, this is actually really good for the game and all the rest of it. But for the most part, people were like understanding and all. And then just each thing like that after this, it's just been like, you know, nuclear holocaust.
Wait, the delay or the fact that Metroid Prime 4 hasn't existed for like a decade and a half?
The delay.
Oh, okay. Well, I think in general everyone is just pretty accepting of delays now. It's like, what, Final Fantasy got delayed, everyone's like, whatever, and then other people were like, good, March.
I was briefly annoyed because I had like a 5-day weekend thing I couldn't arrange for it. But yeah, it got delayed to the start. It got delayed to Good Friday, which is the start of a 4-day weekend. So
good enough.
I think they get good enough, but that's fine.
It's like now March is free, you know, all the games released in March aren't basically dead on arrival.
What was really funny was when Final Fantasy jumped into April, Cyberpunk jumped straight out of April. Like,
yeah.
A few days later.
But you can't blame them.
No, not at all.
It's so funny because their explanation was so generic. It's like, yeah, that's exactly why.
It's like, yeah, no, they're fucking fleeing Final Fantasy.
Which is fair.
Getting away from that. Which is entirely fair, yeah.
Even that, like, does anyone even care about like getting games sooner anymore? Because I certainly don't. I used to when I was a kid, but then I guess it's like the backlog or just being more patient in general.
There's enough to be getting on with.
Yeah, I'm like, it's gonna come eventually anyway. It doesn't matter. Like, I don't have to play it now. It's not like, you know, because I mean, in the era where like, you know, you guys would always get games later, that would piss me off. You know, oh, we're delaying it in Europe for a month. Then that would actually be bad because then everyone else would be playing it and then talking about it. And you'd be missing out, and then it wouldn't be cool anymore, you know.
Was my experience for years.
Yeah.
I love being basically a complete year late to Smash Brothers Brawl inexplicably for no reason.
I think that might be partially why, because now everything's just released everywhere at once, which is such a great change for the industry, man. It's so good.
When it isn't usually the most it is like a Japanese game is released in Japan a few months ahead of us, and it's like that's
it's
fine.
Then it's Japan, and it's like, well, they have to translate 2 languages or two types of writing or something.
I mean, and it's also it's just like I'm not gonna be like following people who can like spoil that for me or anything anyway.
And even if you are, it's all in Japanese, so you can't read it. Sorry, it's all in kanji, so you can't read it. I mean, that's basically the language barriers, the real thing that makes it not so bad. Because the Japanese people are talking about it, but what are they gonna do? Draw fan art of it? That isn't even spoilery? Sure, I'll take it. That just makes it even more hype.
Whereas when it's like Americans getting it first, they absolutely will spoil every single thing, and you just have to like completely follow people who don't speak English, otherwise you're gonna see it.
Yeah, I don't think anyone really cares about delays. But the Metroid fans were definitely ornery about the game not coming out. So when it came out, that was a huge relief for everyone else, I think.
Oh yeah, no, that's absolutely it, because the series being neglected into the toilet. Like, to the point that it was beginning to seem like uncomfortably deliberate.
Did you hear that new rumor that there's gonna be a new 2D Metroid and a traditional Paper Mario coming? Like, once I read the traditional Paper Mario thing, I'm like, alright, and it's bait. Why is this even in my sight right now? How did this make it to me?
Like, I fully get you, because you hear that and you're just immediately like, you are lying through your teeth, and you know it.
Like, it's possible, but like, if it's a rumor, it's obviously just, who's the biggest like subset of fans that we can reach who will make the biggest fuss about my rumor? The Paper Mario fans, they're pretty good at doing that, so.
And the thing is, I'm just gonna say, like I already know that there's going to be a 2D traditional Metroid coming, because at the end of Metroid, like Samus Returns, like the 3DS remake of Metroid 2, they teased Metroid Fusion. Like that would be a natural, like, Switch remake of Metroid Fusion would be incredibly natural, especially in that style. They are, like, in design-wise, actually remarkably similar games in a lot of ways. And they were in the vein of their own series, like the general structure and how they handle it. So, like, that would make an immense amount of sense for the same developers who made Samus Returns on 3DS to make Metroid Fusion on Switch. And given Nintendo is in like the remake mood very heavily, like I just can't not. Yeah, makes sense. They're gonna do it.
Hey, this isn't Pokemon. What are we doing?
We wandered. We'll follow the subject more of Nintendo controversies than Pokemon.
Isn't that what Pokemon is now? Just a big Nintendo controversy when you think about it. Nothing more.
The thing that gets me is that I have directly seen people say to people who are like screaming that this is a DLC paywall and this is like horrible and illegal and all the rest of it, that you can still get all the Pokemon without paying.
Yeah. Which is how it always was.
Which is an important thing to stress. You can do that. Like, you will have all the Pokemon again. You can do that when Pokemon Home comes over. Every Pokemon in, you can just put them over and bring them over. You can do that. But I've seen people say this to their face with proof and explain it. And I've just seen the people they're responding to, almost like robots, just edit out of their perception and just repeat, "This is a paywall and I hate it." Like word for word. It's like, what are you?
It would be a paywall if you got polished for the original game when you bought the DLC, but that's not gonna happen.
No.
I mean, it's not even like Iceborne, is it? Where like, if you buy the DLC, you can get the Pokemon like on your main journey or whatever. Like they're not even
No,
adding anything to like routes
the
or
new ones
anything.
are, like, all the new ones, like,
Or
in terms of
just
being
in
released
there.
in the wild, are
Yeah.
like really are like capped, like they're DLC areas.
Like, I guess technically it's
You could technically trade
trade it,
for
yeah.
them,
But
you know,
that, yeah. I was just thinking it might be like a jealousy thing. That's not.
it's not. And I genuinely want to repeat this. I saw a comment literally try to like claim this as evil because, and I quote, children would have to use like an online Pokemon black market to get the Pokemon they want. It's kind of like, what the fuck are you on?
I mean, we have to do that for Dittos now. So
Well, that's the other part of it, is that people already do that. You know, like
yeah,
people
for the
already do
shinies.
that. That's where people get their shinies or get like
Remember-
the fucking like
remember
6 IV Japanese Dittos.
Remember the GTS? That was
Yeah.
a Pokemon black market. You want this Pokemon? Give me your kidney. That was essentially give me your
That was,
legendary that you can only get one of.
yeah, exactly. And it's like, you know, here's my like bullshit combination of Pokemon that is technically impossible to get, but I still put the request up just to tease you with this thing I hacked into the game. Haha.
Yep.
Like that was it. It was an officially sanctioned Pokemon black market essentially. Like that happened. All of this has been happening anyway, and guess what? A lot of people in the Pokemon fandom will just hack these things in and give them away for free.
Yeah.
Because they're just like that. They just want people to have these things. Maybe they want, you know, like cloud or attention or good feeling. Maybe they genuinely want people to be able to make competitive Pokemon. Like any number of things. They didn't Smogon for a while have a whole thing where they just like hacked like competitive ready like shiny Pokemon to give giveaways with them and shit.
Yeah.
Like there you go.
Smogon, like a huge, easy to recognize thing, hacking Pokemon in the game. It's like
Yeah,
not.
like-
It's like not even a thing.
Exactly. It's a, there you go. Like this has always been the key. This is what it keeps coming back to. Is this has always been the way. Why is it a problem now? Because don't get me wrong, some of it is shitty. Like the whole you can't get every Pokemon in this generation unless you buy like fucking 5 different games. It was always shit. But like this is like the least shitty instance of it ever, and you're screaming like it's bloody murder.
Yeah, it's basically just like, it's not bad because everything in the direct was cool. It was, you know, like literally everything they showed off was amazing, and they're adding Pokemon back in, and it's extra content, and what else? They're adding a bunch of stuff. They're adding the move tutors, which like, you know, but it's DLC. It's not a third version. Which is the big thing, because everyone was sick of the third version. It literally served no purpose. It had no reason to exist. So it's just a step in the.
It had the reason to exist of money.
Yeah.
But
It's definitely a step in the right direction. Like they're being, like despite being crushed underfoot by the Pokemon Company, they're still, you know, making like this is definitely like the most progressive generation. If you don't count making every single Pokemon a model, you know?
yeah. Like, I genuinely argue that Pokemon Sword and Shield is the best designed of any of these games.
Like in X,
Like-
it's like with X and Y, where like the next game is probably going to be the best thing ever now that they got all that kind of establishing shit.
Yeah, it's
You
the
know,
iterative
squared
nature of
away.
the series. That's kind of how it works, you know?
So it's like this DLC is great. It's really just it just comes down to I wish they had more time to maybe even just put this in the base game, but. Like,
Yeah.
I like the only real criticism I can understand is like making it paid, I guess. Like people who don't want it to be paid, I can understand where they come from, but I'm like, we'll see when the game comes out if it has the content. It seems like it does though. But even then, like even if it's not Game Freak's fault that the base game was pretty rushed, it's still
Like,
a thing, isn't it?
I don't agree with like, oh, it should have been free. Like, no, I don't think that should be fair. Like, they are making like it's nice when developers do that, but if they want to charge money for it, like by all means.
At least it's not $60 total.
Yeah.
That was the big thing. Like if it was, then we'd have a problem. We'd have a pretty big problem, I think. I mean, but even then, what if it was, you know, one was half of the game that you bought? Like, then it would add up to the same price. It's weird. Pricing is weird.
Yeah.
Like otherwise, like it's just a good call in general. I think it's just you know
It is.
people just
It's something like they honestly should have done a while ago. And granted, while like to an extent, it was like, you know, you're on the 3DS. How are you gonna do a DLC expansion on that? I had no idea. But I don't know how like Fire Emblem Fates Revelations worked. I don't know if that just technically downloaded itself as a separate game or whatever. But, you know, like this is absolutely like a good step for the series in general.
it's really just like the people who weren't interested in Pokemon or were frustrated with the direction it was going in were just gonna be frustrated anyway.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's not even like per se the direction that it was going in.
I
Like,
mean,
it's
the
not like they
direction
were
it's going
making
in is a yearly release because they have to fit a time quota. Which,
because the Pokemon companies like give us that money. Like,
Yeah.
nah.
that is the problem, you know.
That is wholly and solely the goddamn problem.
That's literally it, you know. It's nothing that Game Freak themselves can do. If you want to complain to the Pokemon company. But even then, it's like what can they do at this point?
Like my review of Pokemon Sword was like, you know, in this three-way partnership where two of them are like giant global multi-billion-dollar corporations and one is a developer studio with like 180 people tops, who do you think has the most say? And one of these like giant corporations solely exists to manage and make the most money out of this IP. That's literally its sole reason for existing. Who do you think has the most say in this? And
Yeah,
like, apparently a lot of people believe it's the tiny little developer, and I just had to say to them, hey, you know, the Earth is flat.
I'm not sure what that has to do with it, but did I mention that, like, with the whole, like, people not wanting it to be paid, or at least, you know, $30 or whatever, that, like, Pokemon is, like, the richest company ever, and then Sword Shield continued to, be the richest thing ever, you know?
Yeah.
It would be nice if it was free, because, like, you know, you think about Shovel Knight, and it's like, okay, you know, they've been working on this game for 6 years, and all of their huge updates that essentially double the game again are free. I think, you know, the Pokemon Company and Game Freak can afford that, but like, I don't think the price is a big deal.
Of can afford it. That's always the thing to remember. It's never like an issue of can you afford it.
I mean, I don't think that's entirely true, but like for big companies.
Yeah, I mean, and even like in the case of Shovel Knight, much as like Yacht Club are great and all, you have to know
they sold a shit ton.
It sold like what, like over 1 million on Switch alone. Like it sold like a massive percentage, like, well, you know, a sizable percentage of its overall sales came from the Switch the moment that came out. Like, don't get me wrong, absolutely insane that they released all that shit for free. It's not like they were never, you know, like reimbursed for that. It's a good business plan, don't get me wrong. And
I mean,
it's
yeah, it's
a backfire, but
it's like, you know, it looks good, but the Pokemon Company would rather not look good and have more money, which is
Pokemon Company doesn't
the
care.
problem. Exactly, yeah. Which is the problem.
Which is, and you know, they're exactly right to not care because everyone's playing Game Freak.
I mean, everyone will still everyone will still buy it anyway. So like,
yeah,
if they'll buy it anyway, why even?
Why sure? And you know, they're not even actually going to blame us anyway. So. I don't get people who, like, you can show them that Pokemon, you know, like, the new Pokemon game always lines up with the release of an already made, like, fully produced season of Pokemon anime and like lines of toys and everything for these Pokemon dedicated stores in Japan, and they still go, yeah, but they could have just delayed the game. It's like, don't get it.
Didn't like something do that? Where it's like the merchandise and stuff came out first, and then the game came out after. Not like like it was a merchandise thing, but it was originally going to be a game. Like,
I don't remember anything offhand like that.
what am I thinking of? It's a familiar concept for me. But yeah. This is like
the mom says I almost feel bad for getting all the Shovel Knight expansions for free.
exactly.
I mean, I feel bad because I didn't back Shovel Knight on Kickstarter. I just bought the game on
Yeah,
PS4.
like
Like, oh
even
yeah,
people
you
who
also get
didn't.
them all free.
Yeah,
And it's
even
like,
people who didn't
oh,
back it, and I was like, that's what I didn't know. I thought that if you didn't back it, you had to pay for them, but they're all just free anyway. It's like it's literally 4 games in one.
yeah, it's like that's nuts because the PS4 version, like it retailed brand new for 15 quid.
Yeah,
It's peanuts. Like that's crazy.
that's probably the thing though. It's like it's only this amount of money, and it's like 4 games in one, and everyone loves it. Like you can't go wrong in buying it, so then everyone buys it,
Yeah,
and then it works because they end up selling more than like the people who sell it for $60 or 1 game for $60. You know?
yeah, and when you keep it cheap like that, when if someone gets a new system, like say they have a Switch, it's board blind, they might go like, man, I want to have Shovel Knight on this,
Yeah,
and
it's
they
like
buy it a second time.
I have like a $100 budget or whatever. What should I buy?
Yeah,
Then everyone says Shovel Knight.
because it's an instant value for money. And it's like it really is kind of that thing of like if you make a good game, pretty good odds people will buy it.
I don't know if that's true in this
I mean,
economy.
it's not. That's the thing. Like, it's not always universally true, but generally speaking, that holds up. That's why when you see stuff, like fucking Ubisoft saying, "Well, Assassin's Creed sales are down year on year," it's kind of like, well, yeah, it's kind of because you're making shit games. Like, no one wants to play them anymore. Like, FIFA's like player base is dropping all the time because like they've stopped caring about making the games anyway fun for the people who play them. It's like, no shit. Hammers found apparently stats for the amount of people who got the expansions for free because Jakob posted them on Twitter.
Those guys just don't even give a shit. Oh, budget.
I don't really. 2014, Shovel Knight released in 2015. 100,000 people got Plague of Shadows for free in 2017. 1.5 million people got Spectre of Torment for free yesterday at the time of this tweet. 2.5 million people got Showdown and King of Cards for free. Free games for 2.5 million fans. Have fun all. 2.5 million people got Showdown and King of Cards free because that's how many people have bought the game by that point. That's fucking nuts.
I'm just happy for them that they can get out of Shovel Knight hell and make something else that isn't going to be as successful.
Yeah, they're publishing someone else's game, like a game called Cyber Shadow.
Oh yeah,
which is like looks sick as hell, like exactly my shit. So that's one to jump on.
it feels bad, man. Like where developers make a huge hit and then they make a second game, and then people are like, "Well, it's not the first game, even though it's good."
Yeah.
Like Bumbo is one. Into the Breach is another.
Who made Into the Breach?
The FTL people.
Ah, I didn't know that.
I mean, I haven't played it. I haven't even really watched it, but I hear it's really good.
Nitrom are also making Shovel Knight Big. I'm not even sure what that is.
It was like that. You don't even know what Nitro is, right?
No.
Those were like my childhood. They made a bunch of browser games that were really good, had really good music too. And it's like in their same exact pixel style, just Shovel Knight game, and it's so funny. It's like a blast from the past. I didn't even know they were still alive.
That's funny.
It's the game with the Mushroom Knight. You've seen that?
No.
The small Mushroom Knight.
No, I've not seen that. Oh my god, just let me climb this up.
Speaking of like selling games for cheap, I wonder how the Download guy is doing for money, because that game is always $1 or less than $1.
He got hired by Nintendo, so I'm pretty sure he's doing pretty well.
Well, like as far as Downwell sales, like what the money rolling in is like.
I mean, probably pretty well. Shit. Oh, he already quit Nintendo and all. Oh fuck. He moves fast. Nope. Hello. Click. He's working in UFO 50 with a bunch of other devs. I'll watch the Shovel Knight Dig trailer after this. My only real reservations about the Pokemon DLC is that they claim they are built like based on areas of the UK still, and I sort of got the impression that the Isle of Armor was the Isle of Man because it's the most known coastal island spot of the UK, but they've also filled it with like fucking Japanese style pagodas and temples and shit. It's like that's not the Isle of Man at all. I respect that aesthetic and all, but I'm looking forward to it, but like it's not really UK at all.
This is your big problem.
Yeah. And then they turned around and said that the Crown Tundra is this icy shithole is based off of Scotland. It's kind of like, well, that's massively underwhelming. You could have done extremely fun things with Scotland, and you just made it a snow level.
We don't know that yet. They have the worst legendary of all time, but that's all we know.
Is that too? It's also extremely ironic that they call it the Crown Tundra. Like haha, the UK loves its queen and crown and all that, and Scotland has been angling to leave for years now. And respect for the queen is at an all-time low, given that one of her sons has outed himself as being friends with a known pedophile and like child trafficker.
Oh, but he's not the child trafficker, right?
Absolutely didn't fuck kids. Not at all. Couldn't possibly have. His brother is suddenly choosing to leave and no longer associate with the family? I wonder what that could possibly be. Couldn't possibly understand why he would choose to do that right now. Not at all.
Well, the controversy with him involved like sex and racism. One of those.
Oh, which one? Like the one he's leaving, or?
Just the prince.
There's a lot of princes.
Is there? I thought there was only one, and then everyone fought to be the prince.
No, there's 4 princes.
Oh no, that's the king. So it's one of them, probably. I genuinely thought there. Oh,
there's no king right now.
Where is he?
King's dead. There actually hasn't been a king. There's the queen, and then there's the queen's husband, who
is not a king.
Who is the Duke of wherever the fuck. He's not called king. No, that's not how it works. Only the monarch born to the family gets the title of king or queen, and their spouse is just like the duke or duchess of wherever they get handed.
This is why monarchy died. It's not as interesting anymore.
This is why the monarchy should be fucking dead, frankly.
I mean, presidency isn't really working out for us either, so.
I mean, monarchy doesn't do anything. They're literally like a formality. That's the point. They don't have any political power. They don't do anything. They are purely a formality, and one that drains our goddamn tax money.
They're just there because that's how it used to be. Isn't that nostalgic?
Basically, exactly that. And there's people in England who explicitly, love them and follow news about them anyway. And it's like, it doesn't make any sense. Sometimes, like, you see that sort of thing, and you sort of kind of believe that, yeah, maybe there are people who just choose to be born to be ruled. I don't know.
Like, doesn't it make history class a little more relatable? It helps our kids with learning, so I think we should keep them in.
Not in Ireland, not at all. No, it's exactly kind of the point. Fame for fame's sake, honestly, yeah. But yeah, honestly, right now, that's pretty much my only issues with the DLC.
It's not an issue.
Anything.
It's literally not an issue.
That is an issue.
You can't say you have an issue with the DLC.
I can, because that is a thing I have with the DLC. I think they aren't doing enough with it setting.
But like, even then, like, at least to me, it just kind of felt like the most UK thing was the accents, which was fun, but and then the Ferris wheel at the end, because I've been on that Ferris wheel. Even though isn't like London. Oh, yeah, I'm thinking of the entire island, aren't I? That is an entire island. Why is it at the top and not the bottom?
This is an island? What?
I'm not London is, you know, at the bottom of that giant island it's on, correct?
Yeah.
And then it's at the top in Pokemon London.
Because they wanted like a progression where you move north and like further up the map.
But they always do that.
They don't always. They usually start in bottom left and loop around the map and end in bottom right.
Remember in Black and White when you did half of a circle? That pissed me off as a kid. I was like, this isn't right. Oh, that doesn't even work. Oh, dang it.
I was kind of interested with how like, you gradually wind up Galar, but you also kept like swinging to like left and right to different places. Kind of like that's an interesting progression feel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not just like a circuit, exactly. I don't know, did they promise to patch Mass Effect Andromeda so it was perfect after release?
Too little, too late.
I kind of feel like they probably quietly wanted it to die after release.
Also, they made London look too happy, exciting.
I mean, they did that for the entire UK.
And not depressing, which is what it actually was.
Actually is, as is most of the UK. Being a grey and rainy little shithole for the rain.
Literally. It was like 2 or 3 weeks, I forget, on that island. And the entire time, the only time it actually rained was in London.
That's perfect. That's like empathic weather.
On the place where it's like known to be the rainiest place in the world. Like, I guess it technically rained in Ireland, but only for like 30 minutes. In certain parts of the mountain range anyway.
Yeah, we have very interesting wind patterns that result in stuff like that, where I can be just in city center and it's raining, and when I go home, like I can see the clouds in the sky raining over time still.
Like, the only rainy day was when we were in London. Actually, was it rainy in No, I think it was just cloudy in Northern Ireland. And then we saw that giant wall with all the graffiti on it, and it was depressing.
Sounds about right. Yeah, just the marks of our civil war. Anyway, Galar was not depressing enough. 0 out of 10.
But that is something you would say, apparently. I don't think
maybe they'll turn it around because, like, you know, the current Tundra literally isn't fucking finished yet. But from the first glance, it's kind of like, this is.
I mean,
feels like you're not making the most of it.
I don't think it has to be based on it. I don't think Pokemon have to be based on it.
Says the guy who got his, like, he regularly gets his home fucking region represented and everything.
Which was America.
Oh, that was Gen 5.
Oh, the best gen. Well, that explains it. Down here. It would be so much easier if you just popped that. Yeah. Well, what area of the United States was that supposed to be anyway?
As far as I understand, it was just meant to be like a very shrunken down, generalized round trip.
Wasn't the dude who had the ground gym, like, not in the South, though?
I don't know. I don't remember. What's I remember of Pokemon Black and White as being generally quite entertained until Sharon showed up and then I fucking hated everything.
That's at the start of the game.
No, that's every time. That's like every second game.
Oh, I see. You're talking about
10 hours about fucking power and how he says I need power and everything while using the weakest goddamn Pokemon.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. While watching more Pokemon Sword, Hop really only talks about his fucking brother and wanting to be the champion.
Yeah.
He's not as good as people made him out to be, or how he seemed at first glance.
I mean, it's easier because he is generally like a cheery person. So hello, Top Pop.
Like Concha was playing it. It's like Oh, the character progression. He's normally happy, and now he's sad. Like,
I mean, that's still more than what most Pokemon games give you, so...
Do they think they can start doing this now? Is that it?
Probably.
We could just not even name our characters?
I wish the Hop killed Bede, honestly.
No one knows how to pronounce
Bead.
Bead. I heard
Fucking Bead.
I heard Bade as well. Just B, I heard someone say.
How the hell did they still do B?
I don't know. And then it's like...
D in there.
The D's silent. Oh, that works.
Jesus fuck, I forgot about Anthem. Yeah, remember Anthem?
No?
Good.
Actually, I think NL streamed it, and I just didn't watch it because
I mean, that's Anthem in general, it's not interesting.
Is that the Battle Royale where you, like, fall in?
No, it was the Destiny ripoff. I kept trying to say it wasn't the Destiny ripoff.
Oh, I remember that show. What was the Battle Royale?
There's a lot of those.
Like it sounds like Anthem, maybe? What was it? I got him, let's go!
I don't know, I generally liked Hop enough because like, oh, he's cheery, he has some like funny lines. And it was interesting to see him actually like, completely change his team at one point, which is again a lot more than you usually get in these things. Yeah, where like Sharon doesn't change his team from day one, and I'm still just like when you're one-shotting every goddamn thing in it with one Pokemon, and he's just talking about how powerful he is, and it's kind of like I'm gonna. If I could fucking beat the shit out of you in person, I would. Whereas on the flip side, you know, like Bianca was actually like a very fun character who had an interesting moment with her dad, where it was like, you know, like let me alone, I'm like an actual kid. And he's like, yeah, you're an actual kid. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, I was gonna say his dad was right. Like,
yeah, her dad was
it doesn't really work when the dad is right, I think.
He was right, and it was just a very interesting thing to see them try and tackle. And you know, and then Elsa comes up and just goes, yeah, but I am rich and famous, therefore, and then that's it.
Oh, there it is.
Like, I have been owned.
Good job, team. I'm so surprised that we didn't pop that.
Oh shit.
Wow.
Whoops. We're basically like playing until we're done, I guess.
Yeah, until we're done talking. This isn't gonna be like every other day. Like, probably shouldn't take anything we want to talk about and wait till next time.
Yep.
Oh, well, I did. I'm alert. Once again, it's at walls. Fade.
Yeah. Well, I clicked it like twice. I'm not streaming Temtem again tomorrow.
I don't even know if I am too, because it resets your progress. Like, how far can I get? Anyway.
Yeah.
Especially since I think I have to go meet a dog, like, in the middle of it. So I won't be able to actually make any progress.
Also, I've had enough streams for a bit. I'm gonna fuck off and do Evo for like 2 days. So I did genuinely want to stream a bit less, so I had more time to do other things.
Like what?
Write stuff, mainly. Play video games. Stuff that I'm not playing on stream because I want to play them alone by myself.
See, now you're just not optimal to be like that.
So it's also just kind of like I have run out of my social energy and I have to go to goddamn Dublin on Wednesday for work. And it's just kind of like, we're preaching like the this fuck off point where I just recede from the world for like 2 days. So. One day we will play video games off stream consistently.
Only hashtag mobile games.
We'll get you started on a fighting game and then we'll go to Evo and that'll be it. I don't know any other tournaments outside Evo.
Smashing's fun. The worst name for a tournament ever.
That was an actual one?
Yeah.
Damn. I mean, I guess the only other one I know is like the Pokemon BBC. And like the Nintendo, whatever the fuck invitation is. Nintendo World Championship, that's it. I guess on that note, what do you feel like playing next in terms of stuff?
Solo games.
Well, yeah.
I think for the past 2 months.
You've been playing, yeah, no, I don't mean that.
Exclusively go off streams.
That's entirely understandable. Don't get me wrong, I fully understand that. But like, I mean, like, what are you kind of like angling for? Is it just Crash Team Racing?
Oh, you mean in general, not with you?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I have a whole list. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
I just have to actually play them.
Right. So you actually have like an order and shit sorted out more or less, or just like a general?
More or less, yeah.
Sick.
Games higher up on the list, but I don't want to say because.
Oh, you know, that's fine. Don't say if you don't want to get pressure to do it or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, by all means.
Like once I realized the CTR Christmas event was like over, I was like, yeah. Started something else.
That's valid. Good night, Emily. Thanks for coming out and watching. It's like midnight his time.
Yeah, we're almost done. Anyway, what? How did I do that? It's still fun. It's still a fun game. I want to, you know.
We still need to watch that vlog. We did.
It's 45 minutes, so it's shorter than most.
Yeah. Nice and comfortable.
Oh, I did all I could.
Yeah, I'm just hoping it's one where like you're not going to be like, well, I'm going to shoot fire for the next day. I'll be like, well, I can't watch Chris again for like 5 months.
I think that's up there. That's for sure.
I mean, I don't doubt that it's out there. It's like I hope that's not the next immediate one.
It might be.
Oh, fuck me then. All right, I guess I'll have to start playing it too. I do need to start something in my own time now though, because I've finished a bunch of shit. Luigi's Mansion's on the stream list, so that won't be next. Probably do Zelda, because it should be relatively quick, and also I'm interested in getting a 2D Zelda in anyway. I will finally play a Fire Emblem Three Houses, don't worry.
We're up to 4:30. We haven't played the game in eons, and we still got it.
Beekeeper hat. Swap for cash is always so disappointing because I am already at the cash cap.
Like I was like, I could play on my account just to get, like, just to keep getting chunks, and then I remembered the money aspect of it. I'm like, damn. It'd get more use, that's for sure.
Alright. Well, that'll be us for the night, I take it.
Yep.
That's been Salmon Run. It lives once more.
Went for longer than I thought too.
Yeah. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for watching. And good night, fellas. See ya.